So for those of you who followed last night's game plan, I made it very clear that I was seeing multiple patterns on the daily chart, and I had very strong conviction that if the SPY gaps up, you're going to want to be buying call options for a strong move to 571.60 plus. With that being said, if you took advantage of last night's game plan, you should have made hundreds of dollars, if not over $1,000. In terms of the new money-making game plan, it's even better than yesterday. I'm going to be walking you through the new levels of interest where I'm planning to buy put options to make money as the market's dropping, where I'm planning to top tick the SPY, and also where I'm planning to bottom tick the SPY. Based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart, we are setting up for a phenomenal trade on put options first. Then I'm going to be buying call options at this key support level. I'm going to be walking you through step by step the new money-making game plan. If you are serious about making money, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I'm also going to be breaking down the trades that I ended up making today. I ended up having many wins on call options, multiple 100% profit returns, and I did end up top ticking the SPY towards the power hour trading session, making a 200% profit return on SPX puts. I'm going to be breaking down everything to you. This video is going to open up your third eye, and it's going to prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices heading into tomorrow, man. I'm telling you, if you're serious about making money, you found the right channel. Make sure you're subscribed. So first things first, we're going to start off with the money-making game plan. Then we're going to get into the many wins. I'm going to be recapping the trades, explaining to you the reasoning behind all of these 100% wins that we ended up having today. Let's get straight into it. So in terms of the SPY, the first trade that we are setting up for heading into tomorrow is going to be on put options. Looking at the daily chart, this is the pattern that is currently repeating itself, right? And this is currently a 3-day trend on the overall SPY. You have this green bullish trend reversal daily candlestick. You have this green bullish trend reversal daily candlestick. Then you have this red bearish candlestick in the middle. You have this red bearish candlestick in the middle. And like I said in last night's video, if the SPY gaps up, you're going to want to be buying call options at the higher resistance levels because it's likely just going to be a gap and go and keep on running for a bullish overall trend day. So with that being said, as you can see in terms of the gap up pattern, it ended up repeating in a very similar cycle, nearly to an exact fucking T. As you can see, the SPY ended up gapping up, the SPY ended up gapping up, and it ended up closing strong, and it ended up closing strong. With that being said, what's going to happen if this pattern repeats for the 4th day in a row heading into tomorrow? So if this trend continues to repeat itself, this is what I'm currently looking at. Based off the overall trend, the SPY had a 2-point spike above the previous closing price. Then it sold off. Then later on throughout the day, there is a very nice dip buying opportunity, right? So if you study this overall daily candlestick, you're going to see it had a 2-point spike above the previous closing price. So based off this overall pattern, what we're going to do is, in terms of measuring the move, we're going to be adding 1 to 2 points above the previous closing price. The new one is 573.17. So the levels that I'm going to be going with for put options for this pattern to repeat itself, right? And we're going to use the 30-minute candlestick chart along with everything in terms of our deck of cards stacked within our favor at these levels to trade with the anticipation that the pattern is going to repeat itself once we confirm that there's a reason for it to repeat itself, right? So it's been going for 3 days now. So measuring the overall move, this is going to be the levels, man. In terms of the levels, we have a gap right here that still has not been filled in terms of the normal trading hour trading session, right? We have a gap at 573.70, nearly $1 towards that previous closing price. So 573.70 to 574.50 to 575. That is going to be the overall zone, right? Based off the overall pattern, a good mark would be $1.20 to $1.50 above 573.17. So what you're looking for heading into tomorrow is bearish or trend reversal 30-minute candlesticks at that zone. Once you get the confirmations, you're going to want to be buying put options. Now, in terms of the call options, it's going to be towards these new oversold levels on the SPY. Based off of that daily chart pattern, if the SPY is selling off towards that zone, 573.80, 574.50, 575, if we're maintaining bearish and reacting as resistance in between that zone, that means that the history is repeating itself. Therefore, if it's repeating itself, it's likely going to have a strong bounce throughout the day. As you can see, there is a very nice drop throughout the day, right? This drop can come later into the day or it can come morning today, right? If the SPY is just selling off towards the market open to the middle of the day towards that resistance zone, then the bounce is going to be towards later into the day. If it's having a very nice drop heading into the market open or even the middle of the day, you can look for calls at the oversold levels, or you can look for later in the day if it's happening later throughout the day, throughout that resistance zone. So if you look at the overall move, you're going to see on this day, it ended up getting to a low of 559 and ended up closing at 560.80. That's about a 2-point spike from the low of day, meaning it closed towards the lower middle. So in terms of where the lows can be, in terms of last time, it was slightly under this bottom closing part of the daily candlestick chart, right? So if we measure the overall move along with the strategies that I've created, this is going to be the first level for call options. And this strategy has been working very, very well in recent terms. It's going to be the gap breakdown level. When a stock gaps up and the market closes, you take the low of day. So as you can see, SPY had a gap up. It opened up higher than it previously closed. That means it had a gap up, right? This white line is previous closing price. Take the low of day. The low of day is 569.53. Recently, when this happened at 565, if you go back throughout the chart, it kept on bouncing at the gap breakdown level. The reason why this is a special support level is there's no support below. So if it quickly drops back down and tests this level for the first fucking time, that's when it's most likely to bounce. When it happens for the first time, when the key level test for the first fucking time, and if there's an overreaction to the downside very fucking quickly, that's when it's most likely to spike first. So if we're just going to sell right back off and drop to 569.50, the most likely outcome is we're going to spike first, along with the foundation of that daily chart of a 2-point spike towards the lows. Also, if you look at the daily chart and you just look at the visual overall pattern, you're going to see it's very close to the level. Slightly below the closing of this candle is 570.30. Last time it had a small little drop under that closing price of the candle, right? And that was towards the exact bottom. So I'm telling you, a small drop under 570.30, your true best fucking level for call options heading into tomorrow is going to be 569.50 to 570. If you are seeing the bullish confirmations at that level, buy calls. It's the best fucking level. Now, in terms of the levels underneath that, we're going to be looking at 568, previous resistance has not been tested to react to support, and then the gap. 567.80. I even told you, not the video before this, the one before the video before that, right? I even told you that if the market drops, it's likely going to be a great opportunity to swing trade calls for the gap reversal. And the market dropped and it closed the gap. And shortly enough, it gapped up and it was a great opportunity to swing trade calls, man. We had members inside of the community absolutely crush it swing trading calls. They were literally done at market open. Trader Joe, big shout out to Trader Joe, man. He ended up making an $18,000 profit today swing trading call options. And I even mentioned in the video, like I said, not the last one I did, the one before that, I even said if the market drops back down and goes towards this oversold support, towards this oversold gap, it's likely going to be a great opportunity to swing trade calls. And then I gave the updated price action analysis that if the market gaps up, is gonna keep on running and have a gap and go. So we had some members even swing trade calls because it was setting up for that overall bullish pattern, that bullish thesis, right? So that's the game plan, man. We're going with puts at the overbought levels, man. I've been giving you the best fucking levels possible to be buying these put options, man. I'm putting you in at the exact fucking peak. And then I've been giving you the levels for the calls at the exact fucking lows at the fucking gap, man. I've been preparing you at the best prices possible within this game that I've created. So with that being said, that's the overall game plan heading into tomorrow. You know exactly what to look for, man. And I'm telling you, recent trends are important. So if SPY breaks above all-time highs, measure to move, 577, next best level for puts if there's a break of trend heading in tomorrow, right? There could be some slight break of trends. History could repeat itself in similar cycles. That's why it's important to know the fucking levels and also use confirmations at the levels. Don't just blindly trade off of a level. You can have a foundation and you can have a bias, but you're going to want some sort of confirmation, which could be the 1-minute chart, 5-minute chart. For me, it's the 30-minute fucking chart, right? But I've been telling you, that gap breakdown strategy first is likely gonna bounce first, man. This recently happened. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? You can see right here, SPY had a gap down. You take the low of day. This is the low of day, 565. Has a massive move to the upside. a 9-point, nearly 10-point spike to the upside. And then it comes crashing back down just as quickly as it spiked. It took a couple days to go from 565 all the way to 574.70. And then once it dropped back down to that gap breakdown level, as you can see, there's literally no fucking support at this fucking level, right? So it bounced first, So I'm telling you, once we drop back down to 569.50 to 570 is likely gonna bounce first. So if you just buy the call options, that's another thing you need to understand about key levels. In terms of it having those short-term reversals, the best time to do it in terms of like not using a confirmation and just getting in, and in terms of most likely outcomes of having high win rates, is the first fucking test. It's very likely, no matter what the fuck happens, that SPY is just gonna bounce first at 569.50 for a nice 1 to 2 point spike. Is very, very likely, right, on the first test. It recently happened at 565 with this strategy. The only difference was it gapped down, but like I said, you take the low of day and there's literally no support below this level, right? But in this situation, it's gonna be that overall gap up, take the low of day. Once 569.60 cracks, then we start to fill the gap below and we look for a reversal at the overall gap. That is going to be the simple money-making game plan heading into tomorrow. You use these levels, you stack everything within your favor, whatever it is that you use to confirm and trade on something that's gonna work, right? I laid out the foundation. I showed you the daily chart pattern. I showed you the levels. I explained to you some recent market trends, right? The gap breakdown bounce first on the initial reaction. Also a recent market trend when the SPY's been approaching these new all-time highs. It's been great opportunities for put options as day traders, right? So I've been explaining to you the recent trends. This is what you have to do. You have to have your third eye open. Now, in terms of the trades, man, I'm gonna break this down to you. You tell me, man, who the fuck you know is trading like this? I'm buying cheap bar, low risk, out of money option contracts, known for selling them in the money for the biggest percentage gains within the market. This was the first trade that I ended up making on the day, 1:24 p.m. You guys know me. I trade best towards later into the day. In terms of my personal trading, that's what I focus on. In certain situations, I'll see a plan, I'll see a strategy at the market open. You could take advantage of it. You could be self-sufficient. You could trade in that sense. In terms of my own personal trading, I mainly focus on the middle of the day and later on throughout the day. I'm telling you, power hour is the best time to trade. And I like to wait for the story to unfold. I like to wait for the candlesticks to form, right? I don't mind missing out first in the beginning. But in certain rare situations, there is going to be some very wise times to be trading because the chart is already developed at the market open. It's rare, right? But today was one of those in a situation. But like I said, in terms of my own personal trading, I trade towards later in the day. So the first trade that I ended up making was on calls. 1:24 p.m. I bought 572 calls at 46 cents. And then I ended up selling these calls at the exact peak temporarily at 55 cents. And then I stuck to the plan. So I had a very nice win starting off on the day. And then I got back in. I got back in on the same exact calls. I made it very, very clear, man. If we get a dip, I'm going to rebuy these calls. I ended up rebuying these calls at 44 cents a contract, and they quickly went to 90 cents a contract, man. I did end up selling for a smaller win at 55 cents, but that's 2 wins in a row, back to back. So why calls? Why was I interested in calls during that overall time frame? I'm going to walk you through this, man. It has to do with the 30-minute chart. You're going to see a lot of my trades in terms of the entries being made at the opening or towards the closing of the 30-minute candlestick, right? So I'm going to walk you through in terms of this 30-minute bullish pattern that I was seeing. I talk about this all the time. The sideways slanted trend reversal bearish pattern to go bullish, right? So this is what I'm seeing. And then in terms of how I use the 10-day 30-minute chart, I prefer to capture trends that have developed throughout the past 10 days. That's my main focus, and I'm waiting for these 30-minute candlesticks to overall close, right? So in terms of the overall trend, this is what I was seeing, right? In terms of the SPY, you're going to see you have this 3 slanted red pattern to the downside. If you go back throughout my videos, you're going to see this happens all the time. Here, let me zoom out of this chart here a little bit quickly. I want to make this very, very clear so you can see this here clearly. So in terms of the overall play, it was the 3 slanted red candles. So I'm gonna walk you through this right here. This is mainly what I was seeing, man. In terms of the 3 slanted red candles, you're gonna see right here, SPY has this green candle, SPY has this green candle, and then you have these 3 sideways red candles, then you have these 3 sideways red candles, and I'm going where it starts to wick, right? So it starts to wick right here, it starts to wick right here. After that 90-minute mark, you can see there's a small drop, and then it closes overall bullish. That has happened a couple times, I believe, throughout the 10-day 30-minute chart, man. But this was also in terms of like intuition and also just going back throughout the overall chart history. In terms of my experience, when this pattern forms, these 3 red trend reversal candlesticks slanted to the downside at key fucking support. And then you have a wick to test right here at 572.54. And another strong reason why I bought calls towards the opening of this 30 minutes was because the SPY was supposed to have a bullish trend day. So I'm obviously going to be looking for dip buying opportunities. So if this goes from 572.54 all the way down to 570.50, right? It's likely going to turn this previous resistance into support the first time testing. And again, just that 3 slanted red bearish trend reversal candlestick. It was sitting at this resistance for 2.5 fucking hours. If it's just going to all of a sudden flash fucking crash to that key support with the 3 slanted red trend reversal candlestick to buy calls on opening 30-minute candlestick, I talk about this all the time. You go back throughout the videos, man. So that was the reason for buying calls on the opening. And I was expecting the SPY to close fairly strong. And I was expecting it to retest the wick. I talk about that all the time, where the SPY retest the high of the wick, right? Now, this is where it truly gets game changing, right? This is where the trades really are going to open your mind up and open your intuition up in terms of what I was seeing, man. So, let's get into it. So I had 2 wins. Then I ended up buying these puts. These puts were very cheap. I bought at 26 cents. I added, and then I sold at 19 cents. I didn't like how the trade was working, so I decided to just cut the overall trade. Took a very, very small loss on those puts. Started off the day 2 wins. Then I had a small loss on puts. Got into 26 cents. Got out at like 18, 19 cents. Now, this fucking trade is crazy. I'm going to walk you through this one, right? So in terms of the next trade, 573 calls. This was after I got the puts, right? So I'm now 3 for 4 on the overall day. Why did I buy these 573 calls? This was a no-brainer. Now, to enter this trade, you needed to look at the extended hours chart. So in terms of having that third eye and in terms of educational purposes, this is going to be the one that gives you the most value in terms of the 10-day, 30-minute overall trends that I'm capturing, right? So if you see the market how I see it, you should have been in on call options at 3:30 p.m. So why calls? I was expecting the market to close fairly strong. It's been having a recent trend on the last 30 minutes where there's been good dip buying call opportunities. But in terms of these overall situations, man, this is what caught my eye. Look at this, man. You're going to see this is the same exact trend in the pre-market. This is why you need to have extended hours enabled at all fucking times, because you're going to see 30-minute trends during the extended hours trading session. So you tell me, doesn't this look identical, right? You just have to have the awareness, conscientiousness to see this in real time and capture the fucking trends, right? So you have this green candlestick right here, right? And then you have this green candlestick right here. Very similar. And look at how the SPY is going up. Slanted uptrend, slanted uptrend. You see the similarities? Forming higher support, likely going to retest 572.50. All reasons to be bullish along with the daily chart pattern. This is what caught my eye. Look at this. Green 30-minute candlestick in the middle. Green 30-minute candlestick in the middle. And then look, it drops back down to the lows. It drops back down towards the lows. Similar cycle, turning this previous resistance into support, right? So history is going to repeat itself in similar cycles. But the point is, the green 30-minute candlestick, this past hour and 30 minutes, this 90 minutes right here, look at this. This is fucking identical. It's the same exact fucking pattern in the pre-market. This is why you have to look at the extended hours trading session. Look at this. You tell me. Look at these 3 30-minute candlesticks right here. And then look at these 3 30-minute candlesticks right here. Wouldn't you agree that it's identical? So what's the game plan? The game plan is to buy call options first. Why? Because history is going to repeat itself in a similar cycle. We're going to keep on milking. We're going to keep on capturing this fucking trend non-fucking stop. And you can confirm this with the 1-minute and 5-minute chart as well. And we're just going to keep on fucking doing this until it no longer fucking works anymore. Well, so many fucking wins in the first place. And then once it stopped working, we take our L and then we reset. We wait for the next trend to develop. So the game plan was to buy call options. Where are we going to buy call options? The 30-minute pattern says buy call options at right here. This closing, you see the bottom of this 30-minute candlestick, the bottom of this 30-minute candlestick is where it bombs the next 30 minutes. So surely enough, once it started to bottom, once it started to hold and spike towards this 30-minute mark right here, towards this lower part of the 30-minute candle, that was my confirmation to start buying the fucking call options. And then as you can see, it's going to have a nice breakout and then it's going to drop back down. Going to have a nice breakout and then it's going to drop back down. Using that 30-minute chart, I was able to buy these fucking calls towards the exact lows, sell towards the peak, then switch to puts, top tick the fucking SPY, make a 200% ROI on SP fucking X, man. Look at that fucking trade. You see the pattern I'm seeing that? This history repeated for 2 fucking hours straight. I caught the trend on calls for an hour straight, going back to back on calls, tried puts once, cut my loss quick, and then I switched back to calls, made 100% return, and then I switched to fucking puts and made a 200% return. I'm going to show you this, man. Look at these fucking trades. Who do you know is doing this, man? I'm showing you how to open up your third eye. So in terms of this trade, I bought, and look, I gave the game plan beforehand because I know when SPY hits my key fucking levels, it can reverse instantly. So at times I'll give the plan beforehand, right? But you got to always be open and ready to have your option chains open and ready. You got to be ready to capture these trends. So prepping to buy the dip soon. Get ready. 573 calls and 5755 SPX calls. The 5755 SPX calls went up over 300 fucking percent. I wanted to buy those, but I'm always going to buy SPY first. And then if the trade starts to go against me a little bit, wait for some theta K to occur, then I'll get an SPX. So in the situation on the call side, there wasn't enough time to get on the SPX call trade, so I just stuck with the SPY calls. If there would have been a nice drop, or if SPY would have just stayed around that level and the SPX calls were cheaper, I would have gotten in on those, right? Sometimes I'm going to miss the move on SPX doing this. I'll always get SPY first, and then SPX, I wait till after 3:30 p.m. when it's cheap. And with that being said, I wrote out the game plan and then I bought the calls. I got in these 573 calls as soon as it hit my level, right? The ideal entry, I made it very, very clear, was 572.70 towards the bottom lower part of this 30-minute candlestick right here, right? It ended up bottoming at 572.74. So just 4 cents off. I'm not going to nickel and dime it because it could have a massive breakout during the best time to be trading power hour trading session. I bought these at 32 cents a contract, right? At 3:30 p.m. And then I literally said, auto fucking sell above 573.50. That's the game plan. And the high was 573.77. So I measured the move very appropriately and I maximized the gains and I sold at 64 cents, man. I got in at 32 cents, got out at 64 cents. That's 100% profit return in 4 fucking minutes trading. And the calls went even higher. I think they went to like 80 cents. But anyways, man, from there, the game plan was for puts because it said the 30-minute chart was going to have a drop. And if you measure the move right here, the high was 571.35. It ended up closing at 570.86, right? It ended up closing slightly, it ended up closing towards the upper part of this 30-minute candlestick. It ended up closing towards the upper part of this 30-minute candlestick. History repeated itself, nearly identical on the last fucking 30 minutes. If you did not see this 30-minute candlestick play out and you were looking at the extended hours chart, you're truly trading blind, man. It was all there. You just have to see it and capture these trends, capture these patterns accordingly, right? So 3 for 4 on the day, right? Had very nice wins on calls first, small loss on puts, then 100% return on calls. Then let's get into the puts. So I went back to the puts. In terms of the plays on puts, I'm going to walk you through this. So these were the next trades, man. Like I said, the 30-minute candlestick was supposed to have a nice drop. And if you look at the overall daily chart pattern, it was supposed to have a small drop. Nothing too crazy, but a small drop. So I was eyeing 573 puts. And let's get into this. So in terms of this trade, I ended up buying 573 puts at 20 cents. I held these throughout extended hours. On SPY contracts, you can hold up until 15 minutes during the after hours trading session if you're using a real broker with this overall 0-to-8 options trading strategy, right? So with that being said, I exited those at 29 cents for a 50% profit return. They went into the mid 30 cent range. And then in terms of the SPX play, I had 2 trades on SPX. When you are trading SPX during the power hour trading session, this is the best time to be trading SPX. Now, the thing is, in terms of SPX, it's a different beast. You have to time it perfectly in order to do fairly well. So with that being said, the first trade I made on SPX, I bought 5750 puts at 105 a contract. These contracts ended up dropping to 10 to 20 cents, right? So in a sense, this was an 80% loss. The trade did not work out. Now, with that being said, as you're going to see, the next trade on SPX was a 200% gain. Therefore, if you have the understanding of, okay, during the power hour trading session, if we make 2 trades on SPX, one of them could go straight to 0, and then the next one is more likely to go up at least 150%. So if you just do the math and you're playing the percentage game, right? Because when you're making big percentage gains, you can actually play the percentage gains. But if your style of trading is to not be making percentage gains, then you're just going to be trading in dollars. And if you're just trading in dollars, you're going to need a lot of fucking money to trade with those small percentage gains, right? So with that being said, over here, we understand the value of percentages within the market because we make big percentage gains, right? If you're not making big percentage gains, then you're just not going to get it. But with that being said, I ended up getting in on a new strike. This is exactly what I did yesterday. And I always told you, if I'm playing the same side during the power hour trading session, the second to third strike is going to be better, which is why within the chat, I made it very, very clear that I'm going to be even sizing in slightly bigger on this strike because it's more safe. The closer we get down to the wire, the more likely the plays are going to work and be profitable in a sense, right? So the first trade didn't work out. It went to 20 cents. You put in 100 a contract, it drops to 20 cents, right? So you lose 80% on that overall trade. Now, this is the grand finale, and I prepared everyone beforehand. I made it very, very fucking clear that this is going to be the best fucking trade, and I'm taking a slightly bigger position size. Not that I need to, but just because this trade is going to be the best fucking trade throughout the past 3 trades that I just fucking made. So I might as well take a slightly bigger position size because I understand how this works, man. If the first trade on SPX doesn't work out, the next one's going to work. It's going to be 150%, 200%, 300%, sometimes 500% to 1,000% fucking returns. So I got in this one basically at the same fucking price, 110 cents a contract, and I sold it at 300 a contract. That's a 200% return. Like I said, it's just simple math. The first trade doesn't work out, you lose 80%, lose 80 bucks. The second trade works out, you make 200 bucks, you make 200%. If you do the fucking math, you're up positive $120 on the trade or 120 fucking percent, right? So with that being said, man, just some of the basics and simples to trade. It's just so fucking simple if you make this into a percentage gain, man. Now, with that being said, I literally held down to the fucking wire and I exited these, man. I exited SPX at 300 a contract. I held this down to the fucking wire, man. And the analysis was so spot on and so fucking point, man. Even right here at 3:59 p.m., it's at 150 and I'm saying sell the next fucking dip. Why? Because I know it's going to have one last fucking dip into the close. And then as soon as I said sell, the prices were in between 300 to 360, and these contracts ended up closing at like 320 a contract, and we were buying at the lows at 100. Like I told you, man, if there's 2 fucking strikes, you take both. If the first one doesn't work out, you put in 100 on each contract, right? Goes to $20. Next fucking trade, you put in 100, same fucking price. It goes to 300. You make it all back, man. So you got to understand, man, this is a numbers game. This is a percentage gain. It does not matter if the first trade does not work out. If you can't afford to risk $100 on SPX, then don't fucking trade SPX. Man, we got the SPY contracts before that at 20 fucking cents, and we sold at fucking 30 cents for a 50% profit return. How much fucking cheaper do you want me to go? I give you the SPY play for 50%. I give you the SPX play for 300 fucking percent. SPX is $100. SPY is 20 fucking cents. How much lower do you want me to go? I'm doing this, man. Not just for the small accounts. It gives you the lowest barrier to entry, but rich people prefer to do this because they prefer to pay less, to risk less, to make the biggest percentage gains within the market. If you know how to trade, if you know how to scalp, everybody should be fucking doing this, man. But like I said, it's not easy. This is the hardest type of style to master. It took me over 10 fucking years to figure this out, man, to figure out how to time this properly, to understand the simple math behind SPX, to actually master SPX and SPY trading options. This takes time to fucking master. But I'm telling you, this 30-minute chart, understanding basic timeframes with the 1 minute, with the 5 minute, it's not too hard, but it takes time. For me, it took me over 10 fucking years to figure this shit out. Before this, it was mainly scalping. It wasn't more on the big percentage gain size. It was mainly getting in and out. But even if you're just getting in and out, you should be able to make 50%, 100% profit returns on SPY or SPX during the power hour trading session, man. You saw in the one trade on calls, I ran up 100% in 4 minutes. So that was the basics behind all the fucking trades. That should really help open up your third eye. I'm telling you, man, this was just something where you had to be there. I walked everyone through the perfect analysis, step by step, giving out the plans even before I got in the overall trades, man. So yeah, it was just very simple, man. And you just got to understand with the power hour trading session, if we're taking 2 to 3 trades, it's very likely that 2 out of 3 are going to work. And if we're doing SPX, the first one loses, the next one could be a 200%, 300% plus gainer. You make it all back and more, man. It's simple fucking math. All right, I entered this SPX trade. I'm down $80 a contract. All right, I'm going to take the next one. It's at the same fucking price. All right, I just made $200 on these contracts, right? You size in accordingly. And you guys are well aware, if you do want to take, you don't have to, but if you do want to take just a slightly bigger position size, wait for the trades later on. If I'm in 2 to 3 trades during power hour, the best one is likely the last one. If I take 1 or 2 trades on SPX during power hour and they don't work out, the third one is going to be the best fucking one, right? The second and third are always going to be the best fucking one, specifically on SPX. If I'm taking 2 to 3 trades on SPX, it should only get better throughout the next trades. So just understand that, man. It's very simple. But like I said, if you don't take all the trades, then yeah, you would have lost money on SPX. Man, I bought these SPX contracts at 100. They went to 10 cents. Did you buy the second strike? The second strike went from 100 to 300. No, I didn't buy the second strike. Well, then yeah, you did lose, right? Losing was your choice because you didn't get in on the overall next trade, right? And then sometimes the trend just isn't going to be against us. Sometimes we might make 2 trades on SPX and the trend just didn't work, and it might be 2 losses. It happens, right? But I'm telling you, the big percentage gains are going to outweigh all the fucking losses. You're going to see with this overall system, the win rate does not matter, man. It's just icing on the cake. With this system, you don't need a high win rate. It's the lowest barrier to entry. It's the biggest percentage gains in the market, cheap, lowest risk contracts. So for those of you who are serious about making money and serious about trading alongside with us, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. You gain access to my secured private organization, our trading community. You also gain access to a 0-day options trading alert system. We are known for buying cheap, far, low risk, out of money option contracts. We are known for buying 3 to 5 legs out, 3 to 5 strikes out at times. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains within the overall market. We have the highest win rate in the game doing this, not that we need it with this overall trading system. Any trader knows in terms of a trading system to optimize for, you should optimize for a trading system that allows you to be profitable, to be successful with the lowest win rate in the game. If you can't be fucking successful with a 30% win rate, you're optimizing for the wrong strategy. Once you have that figured out, then you're just figuring out how to increase the win rate. That's just the icing on the fucking cake, man. But you need to build a strong foundation first, right? If you don't have a strong fucking foundation, your account is going to get wiped the fuck out. And I'm telling you, a strong foundation to have is a foundation that allows you to be profitable with a low win rate. And then you build off of that. So that's what we have. We have the system, and we don't use stop losses. There's no reason to use stop loss because in these contracts that we're buying, they're so fucking cheap. They're so fucking low risk, right? Even if you have a small account, you should have enough to where at the very most, you put in one contract, your max risk per trade, and if it expires worthless, it goes to 0, you lose your max risk, right? So if the most you're putting in is your max risk per trade, you don't need a stop loss. You can just let it expire worthless. And then at times, we will sell the move and sell for a loss. And then there's other times where if we're down 50% instead of selling for a loss, right? We don't believe in stop losses. See how it reacts at the key level. If you don't like the reaction, fine, cut the fucking loss. If you just want to hold it, then just fucking hold it. It's your max risk per trade is what you're risking at the very most, right? So with that being said, sometimes we'll just sell the fucking move if we're down like 30, 40, 50%. Other times we'll just hold the contracts. It depends on the market conditions and it depends on the specific trade if it makes sense for holding. But in my experience, a lot of the dead plays, typically 70% of the time, a dead play is when we enter a trade that drops 50%. If it drops 50%, there's a good chance if you hold it throughout the day, especially if you're trading earlier throughout the day, it can come back to life. Even on the last 30-minute session, if the 30-minute candlestick goes in your favor, especially on a SPY trade, SPX is a different beast, but on a fucking SPY trade, last 30 minutes, even earlier throughout the day, if it goes in your favor, there's a good chance it's going to go in the money. And if it starts to go in the money, you can start to sell for overall profit in most situations, right? So it eliminates the stop loss and it gives you the opportunity to hold the trade throughout the entire day to go in the money. Eliminating the stop loss is a game changer. You get to see how the stock reacts at the overall levels. You get to decide if you want to sell at that reaction, at that confirmation. You get to decide if you want to keep on holding because that trade can later on go throughout in the money later on throughout the day. Like I said, you can only do this with options, man. This is a game fucking changer, eliminating the stop loss. Now, we do set profit stops. The reason why you're going to want to set a profit stop is it's going to ensure that you do not go green to red. If you are up on a trade, if you are green on a trade and you set a profit stop, that means that it's impossible to go fucking red. You're going to get stopped out for fucking profits. Most traders are very interested in getting stopped out for losses, but for whatever reason, when it comes to fucking wins, they don't get stopped out for fucking wins. They just sell fucking quickly when they're up. They don't know how to hold their fucking trades. What we do over here is we set fucking profit stops. We sell into moves. We sell at key levels, right? We leave fucking runners. We hold our trades for massive percentage gains. We hold our trades to go in the money. We make biggest percentage gains. And we don't just set the profit stops to ensure that it's going to secure our trade to go, to prevent us from going green to red, right? We move the profit stops up. The reason why you want to move a profit stop up is because as the trade is going and working in your favor, if the market has a big move against you, you can get back the bulk of your profits and get stopped out for a very small green trade if you don't move it up. So along the way, we move our profit stops up. And then again, with the 30-minute system that I've created, with the levels, it's just selling into the moves and then just leaving 20% to ride if you want those massive fucking gains in terms of like the YOLO of like a 500 to 1,000%. But at times, if it makes sense, I'll leave full size or half size on to ride if it makes sense for an overall 30-minute candlestick closing favor, right? It depends on overall trade and strategies, right? but we're known for making the biggest percentage gains in the market. If you are serious about surrounding yourself with a secured private organization trading community who has mastered this system and this style of trading, it's the first link down below within the description. You get access to our real-time trades. I'm telling you, man, we are absolutely crushing it. There is nothing like this fucking community on the fucking planet, man. I'm telling you, we have so many members who are making $500 a day, $1,000 a day. We have some members who are making 5 figures a week. With that being said, it's the first link down below within the description, man. I'm telling you, just look at all the fucking gains, man. Hell, with that video that I posted last night, you should have made hundreds of dollars, if not over $1,000, man. Like I said, in terms of what we do over here is we'll make you money first. I'll give you the exact game plan. If you're not self-sufficient enough to trade and execute it and make money, then don't fucking join. If these plans aren't making you fucking money, if you're not self-sufficient, then don't join. But if you're serious about trading alongside with us, making money, seeing us execute our trading styles in real time, it's the first link down below within the description. Like I said, we make people money first before we give them the opportunity to join the community. If you're looking for a community and if you're looking to trade alongside us, and then in terms of learning how to trade, one way to learn how to trade is to actually fucking trade. And if you trade with us, you're going to start to pick up on what it is that we're doing. You'll see I'm literally entering my trades. It's like the same fucking times every single fucking day. I told you, I've mastered a system throughout the last 30 minutes where I know what the 30-minute candlestick is going to do. And I know how to take advantage on that with SPY first. I do SPY first because it's safe and you can afford to lose data on those. And then later on throughout the day, I wait for SPX. Like I said, I can make 2 trades on SPX during power hour. The first one could be a loser. The second one could be a 200%, 300%, 500%, 1000% return. So this is a numbers game, man, right? And this is a game of percentages. For some people, trading, it's just a game of dollars. If you're going to just make this a game of dollars, you're going to need a lot of motherfucking money in your account to make some gains. Now, if you want to turn trading into a game of percentages, we have that over here too. We have dollars, we have percentages, we got it all over here, man. We got the best fucking system for small accounts, for large accounts who want to pay less, risk less, hold their trades a little bit longer, put themselves in the highest risk to reward ratio trades, right? Cheapest, lowest risk, highest risk to reward, biggest percentage fucking gains. It does not get better than this if you trade with real fucking money. I'm not going to be getting into prop firms in this overall video. That's a separate video. For those of you who are trading with real fucking money, it does not get better than mastering far out of the money option contracts and selling them in the money. I'm telling you, you can literally just trade last 30 minutes every single fucking day. You're going to see once you master this, this is the best fucking system. You start with SPY first, and then later on, 3:45 p.m., 3:50 p.m., 3:55 p.m., just giving you some key times. Sometimes it's like 3:37 p.m. You can make 2 trades on SPX. The first trade on SPX could be a loss. The second trade, 200%, 500% fucking win, right? Losing is a personal fucking choice. Red is a choice. If you're serious about making money, get your head in the game. It's the first link down below within the description. You can surround yourself with our community and you can see us trade in real time. I write the plans out. I give the analysis in real time throughout the chat. I give you a real-time entry, real-time market analysis in between the trade, right? Literally, at times, I'll give the plan beforehand because I know at the level sometimes it's going to reverse instantly. So at times, I'll give the plan beforehand, but you have to always have your option chains open and fucking ready to seize the trade when we give out the alert, you know, tagging everyone so it gets sent out to you real-time notifications, mobile and desktop, right? So that's what we'll do, man. We'll give you the plan beforehand at times. And we give you the real-time entry. We give you the real-time market analysis in between the trade, right? When we're selling into the moves, when to leave runners, when to set profit stops, when to move profit stops, whatever it is that we're fucking doing. And then when we're exiting. This is all written out in real-time text for you to see. And at times, I will even walk you through the educational reasons behind the trade, right? So with that being said, if you want to get a grasp and learn more about it, you want to learn how to trade? Well, you got to fucking trade. You want to trade with us? The first link down below in the description. If you did not see this, man, this pattern during the pre-market, oh my gosh, this pre-market fucking pattern, this 2 hours of slanted bullish price action, 2 hours of slanted bullish price action, I'm telling you, man, write the fucking script. Gain some control of your trading, man. Some people are trying to flip the fucking scripts. Write the fucking script. This is a work of fucking art. Do you see this work of art? Wait for the market to become a work of art. Look at this. It's the same fucking pattern that occurred recently. It's the same fucking pattern that occurred recently. Capture the trends. Capture the patterns. Put yourself in situations where visually, this looks like a no fucking brainer. How am I going to pass this up? This looks like a fucking gold mine. This is a money printing machine. This is an ATM money fucking printing machine. I'm telling you, we're turning the iPhone into a notification machine. where we're just spitting out nonstop fucking winners every single fucking day, educating you along the way, man. I'm telling you, man, capture these trends, capture these patterns in real fucking time. If the market don't look like that, don't fucking trade. Have your third eyes open at all time. Be self-aware, have self-control, be disciplined at all time. Have the game plans, right? Have the fucking levels. Have the visual patterns in front of you. Capture it in real fucking time. When it's time to seize the fucking day and seize the move, seize it, man. Look at that pattern, man. If you didn't see this, man, if you're trading fucking blind, it's there. It's in front of your fucking face. This is why I say all the time, just wait. Create the fucking script, man. Look at this. The script was fucking made. Did you capture it in real fucking time? We don't have to rewrite the fucking script, right? We don't have to rewrite the fucking trend. It's already fucking there. Wait for it to repeat again. Capture it in real time, man. Make this a simple game. Have your standards so fucking high. These trades should be no-brainers. You should be looking at these trades saying, dude, how the fuck is this not gonna work? I waited all fucking day for this pattern. This shit better fucking work. It looks like it's identical. The same thing is about to repeat itself to an exact fucking T. This should work 100%. This should work 90% of the fucking time, man. Wait for the no-brainer trades. Do the complete opposite of what everyone else is doing, man. Everyone else is just firing out fucking trades. They have no foundation. They have no confirmations. They do not have the deck. I'm telling you, man. The bar and the standards are up fucking here, especially when you're trading with this fucking style of trading. Wait for the perfect setup to develop. Create plans, create foundations, wait for the perfect setup to develop. Wait for the chart to look like a fucking no-brainer, man. You think this is going to keep on fucking happening? No. Wait for it to happen again. Wait for the story to be untold. If the story has already unfolded, it's very easy to see the plot, man. Capture the trends in real time. If there's nothing to capture, then do nothing. It's so fucking simple, man. Have self-control, have self-discipline, have your third eye open, be fucking conscious, have a foundation, have a plan, have key levels, use confirmations at the levels. Wait for this to become a work of fucking art. This should be a masterpiece. You should be hanging these fucking trades on your wall in terms of how fucking simple and how well they should be working with these fucking trends. If the picture is not fucking clear, stay the fuck out of the game and wait. You're going to see sometimes the market, it's going to give you the perfect picture every single day. There's going to be multiple opportunities. Then it's going to switch up on you. Then it's going to say, all right, let's test his patience. Let's test his patience. Are you fucking capable of disappearing when the market disappears in terms of what works best for you? Do you have that self-awareness, or is it going to catch you off your fucking game, man? You're going to see the market is going to test you non-fucking stop. You need self-control, you need self-discipline, and you need to have your third fucking eyes open at all time. And you need to be trading when it looks like a clear fucking work of art picture. If you do not see this, you're trading fucking blind. I'm showing you how to open your eyes up. Every single day, the 30-minute patterns are going to look different, right? You just keep on capturing these 30-minute patterns, wait for them to fucking develop, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, and then 2 hours. And then certain patterns, they just keep on fucking happening as time goes on. Sometimes the same patterns happen once every 2 weeks, man. So you got to remember it, right? So with that being said, man, have your eyes open and understand this market will test you, right? So be like water and be like fucking adaptable. If it disappears, then you need to fucking disappear, right? If there's nothing there, then do fucking nothing. Sit on your fucking hands. Wait for the bull and bear traps to get fucking set. I'm telling you, this can be such a simple game. The less you fucking trade, the higher your standards should fucking be. Think about that, man. If you are trading more, that means that your standards are fucking shit. But if you had a rule, or not even a rule, you don't need a rule in a sense, but if you are trading less and less and less, then you should have the setups should keep on getting better and better and better. The setups should be so fucking phenomenal. They should be the best fucking setups later. So that's another key, man. Trade less and less and less. The less you trade, the better the fucking setups you're going to create and you're going to fucking see, man. I'm telling you, I'm putting you onto the game, man. So subscribe to the channel. If you want to join us, it's the first link down below in the description. We're going to absolutely fucking crush it heading into tomorrow, man. I'm telling you, Wednesdays, man. Wednesdays be my fucking days, man. I'm telling you, we're coming in hot for the market tomorrow. I will see you guys then.